She lived out the concept of grace and reminded me that no matter what kind of mistakes I made, I was still worthy of love and forgiveness. I'm sure there are many here that have experienced that same thing from her. She was a living example of selfless love, always giving and never taking. I'd like to read a quote from Albert Pike, a soldier in the Civil War, that reminds me of her. "What we have done for ourselves alone dies with us, but what we have done for others and the world remains and is immortal." I think we all have the opportunity to do for others. Doris, Jessee set that example for us. You don't have to go to nursing school to exhibit patience and love to those around you. And at the end of the day, life is not about us. It's about the amazing grace that we have been shown and are obligated to share with those around us. So I want to challenge each of us to honor the memory of this wonderful woman, and may we continue the legacy that she has left for us.
Kevin.
All right, I'm going to give this a go. Bear with me if I start breaking down here. But I don't want to repeat everything everybody else has said, although I could, without a doubt. I'm just going to skip and share a couple things. I like one of Mom's favorite quotes, and I think all of us kids remember, was, "Be sure your sins will find you out." Which, as a young kid, I needed to hear that, no question I did. And also, make sure you wear clean underwear in case you end up in the hospital. Very important factor to remember. But she was an incredible lady, no question about it. I mean, I can repeat everything everybody already knows. An amazing lady. And she taught me patience. I remember when I first got my driver's license, I'm in Nevada City driving, and it snowed, it was icy. And those of you that have been up Pasquale Road know that road, and it was slick, and there's a sharp corner right at the beginning, and being young and dumb, I hit the brake and did a bobsled into the truck in front of me. And an older couple got out, and the wife says, "Well, I sure hope Mark's going to be okay. He just had heart surgery." And it was so simple you couldn't even stand. But Mom couldn't chew me out. She was patient, kind, didn't say anything to me. Probably more patient than I was when my kids had their first accidents. But that's just the kind of lady she was. Lessons I learned. One of the really cool things about having a mom that was into the medical field was being able to watch open heart surgeries when you were young, which back then, that was super cool. We didn't have YouTube and stuff that you guys have today. But, Mom was just others focused. She had a lot of issues, and going later on in life, her physical issues. But did she complain? No, she didn't complain. She was always thinking about other people. And if I learned anything from Mom, it is love. That's what it's all about. And that came from direct route from Jesus Christ, without question. And so rather than focus on her own issues, she focused on others. She was always looking for others to bless. In fact, being a young kid, I remember being embarrassed because she would go reach out to people like, "Come on, Mom, gosh, can we go home, please?" And she'd be talking to people, trying to help people out. It was really cool. So I'll just finish up. Thanks, Mom, for everything. I promise I will continue to learn from your example and walk in love and dedication to the same Spirit of God that made you a humble servant and a real rock star in the kingdom. And I know that one day I will see you again. When I hear those words, well done and good and faithful servant, it will be made possible by your example of a life well lived and demonstrated for all to see. And I plan on walking in that legacy.
Kathy Gildon.
St. Basil lived in the 4th century, and following is one of his quotes, slightly modified. A tree is known by its fruit, a woman by her deeds. A good deed is never lost. She who sows courtesy reaps friendship, and she who plants kindness gathers love. From the moment I met Doris, who told me to call her Dorothy, that's very privileged, until my very last visit with her, courtesy and kindness were extended to me from this gracious woman. Courtesy is not a word that we use often in this time or in this society, and I find it to be a rare gift. Dorothy was always thoughtful and considerate, and she gave her undivided attention to every conversation we had. She was also very kind. Listening and sharing her own heart created a very safe place for me to be, a place to talk about joy and to talk about tragedy. And anything and everything we talked about, I knew she valued, whether they were big things or little things. My wardrobe is essentially black, with a smattering of gray. Dorothy embodied the brightest, most beautiful colors. And she kindly encouraged me to give color a try. So bit by bit, because I only saw her on Sundays, I added blue and red, and then I got really bold and brought in some yellow. And today I am wearing the very rare pink in her honor, because I know she would love this sweater. And it's a little thing, but her happiness at seeing me try meant the world to me. My sister Marie died 4 months ago, and Dorothy met her maybe 3 times in church when she came to visit from Tahoe. And when I went to my sister's to help her transition to heaven, there was a basket next to her hospice bed, and in that basket were about a dozen cards from Dorothy. And they were beautiful. She barely knew her, and she constantly was sending her cards. I was overwhelmed. Courtesy was the foundation that grew into our friendship, and kindness was the root that blossomed into love. Dorothy finished her race with grace and beauty. She's living in the glory that she devoted her life to. And God has gathered her into his garden, and I can only imagine the immense joy she is experiencing in his presence. Dorothy and I were friends, and we loved one another. And our friendship, for me, was a very rare gift. And I look forward to the day when I see her again.
Dia.
I'm Leah Lawrence. I'm Doris's granddaughter. I loved my grandma so much. Grandma, the gardener, the cake decorator. I remember my teapot cake that she made for my birthday, and how much love she put into every little detail of every gift she gave and every card she gave. As I grew up in age, I also grew in appreciation of Grandma. I always loved my grandma, but I grew in understanding of just what an incredible woman she was. She left a lot of very creative fingerprints on the family. And I'm pretty sure every person almost in this whole room has received cards from her, as you've heard from everybody. And she didn't just, send them out to us. She wrote very beautiful things in them that were so specific to each one of us. She really knew and loved and cared about each one of us and what was going on in our lives at the time. She taught me how to make cards. I got to do that with her pretty often. And I'm making my wedding invitations now, and every single one I make, it just makes me think of her. And just the legacy that she left for me is being put into the little things, little details like that. Someone mentioned also that she was always pointing, I think it was Sean talked about her, pointing out different flowers and trees. Everywhere she went, I remember that, walking through the streets by their house in Grass Valley, and her pointing out different flowers and plants, and just everything beautiful, birds. And in a conversation I had with her kind of recently, I was asking her about her family and her history, and she talked about a time in her life when her grandma had come and stayed with their family. And I asked her how that was for her, and she said it was very special to her. She told me her grandma got her outside and showed her different flowers and plants and beautiful things and got her to notice those things. And it's just, it struck me as such a grandma moment to be noticing the people that impacted her, that blessed her, even though she was, for the most part, pretty unaware of how much she impacted us and blessed us all the time. She was just such a humble person with so much gratitude. She was so full of gratitude and thanksgiving for God and for different people and for her family especially.